Hi, my name's Mike, and in today's video I'm going to do a two-parter because I did one part it was about 9 minutes and it didn't upload, so I'm going to do this in two parts under 5 minutes. It's called Itchy Ears. Let me read from 2 Timothy 4:3. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but have itchy ears. They shall heap to themselves teachers in accordance with their own lusts. So itchy ears, what does that mean? It means a term used in the Bible to describe individuals who seek out messages and doctrines that condone their own lifestyle, as opposed to adhering to the teachings of the apostles, something that they like to hear. And they shall heap, gather in great numbers. Jesus didn't have many followers because many left him, as you can read that in John chapter 6, but I'll read part of it. Jesus was talking about his blood and his flesh in symbolic language, and they literally believed he was talking about eating his blood and drinking his blood and eating his flesh. John 6:66. At this point, many of his disciples went back and walked no more with him because they didn't understand his teachings and they didn't like what he was saying. If we look back at the time of Jeremiah, a good example was Jeremiah and the false prophet Hananiah, who said that in 2 years God will restore things in Israel after the king of Babylon will exile the Jews. So people listened to the false prophet Hananiah because it tickled their ears. But Jeremiah said it would be 40 years before things would be restored. So they didn't like what he had to say. They preferred listening to Hananiah. And if you read that in Jeremiah chapter 28, you can see that in verse 15, then the prophet Jeremiah said to Hananiah the prophet, "Listen, Hananiah, the Lord has not sent you, yet you have persuaded this nation to trust in lies." They trusted in Hananiah, and they didn't trust in Jeremiah. What did they do to Jeremiah? Well, they threw him in a pit. You can read that in chapter 38, because it didn't tickle their ears. Also in Jeremiah chapter 20, now Pashur, the priest, the son of Immer, who was chief officer in the house of the Lord, heard Jeremiah prophesying these things. Then Pashur beat Jeremiah the prophet and put him in stocks. So it didn't tickle their ears. That's not what they wanted to hear, So what they beat the true prophet, and they were happy with Hananiah, the false prophet. The teacher warns of many false teachers in the end times. If you read in Matthew 7:13-18, "Enter ye at the strait gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many there be which go in therein. Because strait is the gate, and narrow is the way which lead into life, and few there be that find it. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravenous wolves. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns, or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bring forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bring forth evil fruit." And it goes on at 22-23 from Matthew 7. But many will say to me in that day, "Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works?" And then I will profess unto them, "I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity." Right, I'll leave that as part 1, and I'll do a part 2. God bless. Bye-bye.